Hi guys, how are you? I hope you are doing good. I welcome you all to Edistor online session. Today we are going to discuss new chapter. Before I enter into the topic, I would like to talk to you about these days. How is the days guys? How it's going on? Okay, I hope it's moving better. Already you know one proverb, that is prevention is better than cure. Is it so? Yes. So guys, please have a healthy diet, nutritional diet. Always be positive. Help and obey to your parents and elders. Don't disturb others. Make them to feel good, and that wise you also feel good. By doing regular exercise, lead healthy life and often drink hot water. If your elders gives natural medicines, please have it first. Don't say no. Don't say no because it gives you a great immunity power. Follow the instructions given by the healthcare departments. We are in critical stage of COVID. If we follow, I hope we get well soon from this panic situation. Okay guys, follow that. Let's we enter into the new chapter as I said earlier. Cell structure and function. Cell structure and function. Today we are going to see the new chapter. Let's see what does the session covers. Discovery and history of cell. In the history of cell, we are going to see who discovered the cell and who is coined the name cell, and instruments for studying cells, in which we are going to see microscope, staining techniques, unicellular and multicellular organism, levels of organism, cell shape, size and parts, cell organelles, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, and finally cell division and growth. Okay, these all those things we will see in this new chapter. Okay guys, I would like to start from the history of cell. Don't skip the video. Listen the story carefully. It might be interesting. Once upon a time, that means in the year of 1665, a great scientist named Robert Hooke. He was noticed a compartment or hexagonal-like structure or honeycomb-like structure in the tissues of cork cells. So, in the tissues of cork tissue, that means what? You can notice that picture. A honeycomb structure or a room-like structure in this picture, Yes. That's the same. Robert Hooke is noticed in the slices of cork. Cork tissue, that means what? It's a outer bark of a tree. Cork is a outer bark of a tree which is in dead condition. Which is in dead condition. He noticed the hexagonal structure with the help of microscope, which was designed by himself. He named that small room-like structure as a cell. He named that small room-like structure as a cell because in Latin, cell means a small room. Cell means small room. So he named for the hexagonal structure as a cell. Inside the cell, nothing were noticed by Robert Hooke as the cell was in dead nature. Okay, so who first discovered the cell? Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke, 1665. And another one important fact is he is known as father of cytology. Who is known as father of cytology? Robert Hooke. Cytology, that means what? Cytology. Yeah, it's also a branch of science. It's also a branch of science. Such like that biology. In biology, we are studying about plants and animals. Is it so you know? Yes. The same like that, cytology also a branch of science which deals with the studies of cells. Study of cells. Which deals the study of cells. Why he is known as father of cytology? Why the Robert Hooke is known as father of cytology? Because he is known as father of cytology because the cell was remarkable. The research about the cell, his research about the cell was remarkable on those days for the furthermost studies of cells. For the furthermost studies of cell. Why he is known as father of cytology? Because his research about the cell, that was remarkable on those days for the furthermost studies of cell. So only he is known as father of cytology. Who is father of cytology? Robert Hooke. Let's see another one hero entry in the story. His name is Anton von Leeuwenhoek, one who known as father of microbiology. He found the cell structure in the small living things. Robert Hooke found the cell structure in dead cells. Notice this. Can you get it my point? Yes. Anton von Leeuwenhoek found the cell structure in the living organism. And he said all the living organism, by his research wise, he noticed all the living organisms are made by the cells. He made a lot of researches in the small animalcules like bacteria and protozoans. And he found the nature of the cells. So he named as the father of microbiology. Father of microbiology who is Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Father of cytology, Robert Hooke. Father of microbiology, Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Okay. Next, Matthias Schleiden and Theodor Schwann. Who are all? Who are all these people? Yes, let's see. Both they were profound the theory of cell. Matthias Schleiden, he was a botanist who studying about the plants. And he made a research in plants and he said all the plants are made up of cells. Theodor Schwann, zoologist, he is studying about animals and he made a research in the animals and he found all the living animals are made up of cells. Both they combine their researches and they will come to the conclusion, and that was they will profound the theory of cell. So the cell theory is profound by whom? Matthias Schleiden and Theodor Schwann. We can say Schleiden and Schwann. Schleiden and Schwann. What is cell theory? Cell theory has three parts. Cell theory has three parts. The first one is all the living organisms are made by a cell. The first thing is what? All the living organisms. Simple. All the living organisms are made by a cell. Cell is the second one. Cell is the basic unit for all living beings or life. Cell is the basic unit. That's the second one. Third one. New cells are arise from the existing one. New cells are arise from the existing one. These are all the three parts of cell theory. So, three parts of cell theory is what? The first one, all living things are made up of cell. Cell is the basic unit and new cells are arise from the existing one. That's all. Over. Who performed the cell theory? Sleeden and Schwann. Sleeden and Schwann. The three things is what? The three things are what? Living organisms are made up of cell. Cell is the basic unit and new cells are arise from the existing one. That's all. Over. Okay. This much time we are discussing about the cell discovery. Let's we move on to the cell. Now someone asked to you to define the cell. What will be the answer is given by you, or what you have to say? For this, cell is a basic structural and functional smallest unit of life. What is cell? Cell is a basic structural and functional smallest unit of life. Okay? Look at your wall. How the wall of your room is made. The basic thing is what? Yes, bricks are the basic thing for the huge buildings. Isn't it, you know? Yes. The bricks are putting upon one on the other. And that wise we can give the structure to the huge buildings. Is it so, you know? Yes. As the same way, cells are the basic things to give the structure to all living beings. All living beings. And it's also known as functional unit. And it's also known as functional unit. It gives the structure to the living beings, so it's known as structural unit. And also it's known as functional, because each and every cell, okay, each and every cell is differ from one another, and the same kind of cells are combined together. And the same kind of cells are combines together or comes together can make the tissue. I can say the great example is our school. Imagine that in our school, structural wise, lot of rooms are allotted for specific purposes. Is it so, you know? Yes. Such as office room, PT room, library, transport, emergency, restrooms, security room, finally the management. Is it so, you know? And lot of classrooms. Systematically, they are connected together with one another. Is it so? Yes. And listen. In office room, the same kind of people are working who is well known about the office works. In office room, there's some same kind of people who are well known about the office works. Is it so, you know? Yes. Take it our PT system. There, PT masters are working who are well known about the plays and physical exercise and maintain our school rules. Is it so you know? Yes. And management side, the members who are in the controlling system of our school and helpers security, same like that, helpers security. So that wise each and every person who is well in their works are categorized and comes together and they put into one places and they are working together and do their works properly. Isn't it you know? Yes. As the same way. Okay. And all the working systems are connected with one another and all the working systems are connected with one another with the management and they can make the functional system of our school. They can make the functional system of our school. Is it so you know? Yes. Here what is the role of yours? You are the energy guys. Cell nature. According to the cell nature, the organisms are categorized into unicellular and multicellular. Already we have discussed about this in your chapter 2 itself. Unicellular, that means, uni means single. Single cellular animals and plants or living organisms. They are known as unicellular organism. Can you say some example for unicellular organism? Yes. The unicellular organisms are categorized into that they are nothing but microorganisms. Is it so you know? Yes. That microorganisms are categorized into bacteria, protista, algae and fungi. This one we have discussed in the chapter 2 itself. E. coli, look at this picture, E. coli, streptococcus and halobacteria are the example for unicellular bacteria. And protista category amoeba, euglena and paramecium. And algae, it's a plant-like structure. A single cell algae is known as what? Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas is a single cell plant because algae it's a type of plant. So the Chlamydomonas is known as single cell plant. Single cell animal is amoeba. Okay, single cell animal is what? Amoeba. Single cell plant is Chlamydomonas. And chlorella also the example for unicellular algae. And unicellular fungi is what? Yeast. Yes, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Saccharomyces, it's a scientific name of yeast. Okay. It's known as a single cell fungi. Yeast is known as a single cell fungi. Okay. The level of organization just before we have discussed. And each and every tissue is differ from one another and each and every cells are differ from one another. Here look at this picture, the red blood cells and smooth muscle cells and nerve cells. So the nerve cells are connected to the brain. Okay, as I said earlier, our management, you know, that is the nervous system. The head of nervous system is brain. Is it so, you know? Yes. The same like that only the management. And that office room directly connected to the management. The same like that only backbones. Okay. And then red blood cells, circulatory system, the red blood cells are there. Okay. And it's a transport system. It's related to the transport system of our school. Okay. So here look at this picture. Here each and every cell is totally different from one another. So the specialized structures are combined together and form a specialized organ. Or first it's form as a specialized tissue. Then it forms as a specialized organ such like that heart, lungs, kidney and brain. And they connected together and form a organ system. And finally it gives rise to you or a huge organism. Okay. as we discussed earlier. Important notice: write down your classwork and learn your book. You can start with this new chapter and follow the rules whatever we follows to written classworks, such as leave lines between the two sentences, write down the heading with bold letters, put date and page number, and handwriting should be neat. Okay, the previous part of classworks we will follow the upcoming days. Shall I ask one question? For that, you should answer genuinely. How many of you follow the online class regularly? Okay guys, no problem. If not means also no problem. Follow from the upcoming sessions. Follow from now. Now we win. Okay? Be safe. Stay at home. We will meet soon. Thank you guys.